So Maria Taylor is no longer going to be working at the worldwide leader of sports over there at ESPN. After the NBA Finals, she'll be out of her contract and she'll be signing a new contract with NBC Sports. Now, if you've been following my channel, if you have subscribed to my channel, I made multiple videos about this subject. And I also told you guys the two networks that will possibly sign Maria Taylor once she's done with her contract obligations at ESPN. She'll be focusing on either NBC Sports or Amazon. A lot of people in the comment section felt like it was going to be Amazon. It's going to be NBC Sports. Okay. Now, if you've been following my channel, if you've subscribed to my channel, I have already talked about what translated between Maria Taylor and ESPN. But to run a quick rundown, Maria Taylor was once offered $5 million from the worldwide leader of sports, and that was before the pandemic. She tried to overplay her hand. She tried to overplay the market, and that was before the pandemic. And we're still not under this pandemic. We are close from being behind the pandemic than we once was last year, but nevertheless, it's still a pandemic out there. And the pandemic has affected a lot of moves, particularly in entertainment as well as sports entertainment. And she turned down the $5 million that ESPN was offering Maria Taylor. And ever since then, the offers got less and less. There were some reports out there, it went as far as low as $2 million. Their recent negotiations, ESPN bumped it up a little bit to $3 million, which if you've been following my channel, I predicted that they was going to at least bump up to $3 million, particularly after the firestorm or the dumpster fire of Rachel Nichols. But that's neither here nor there. But she was offered up as far as $3 million for ESPN. She turned that down, trying to get Stephen A. money. She felt like she deserved Stephen A. money, and that's why she pretty much declined the $5 million. She should have accepted the $5 million, and that was before the pandemic. She would have been making, even though it wasn't $8 million and it wasn't Stephen A. money, it was a lot of money she left on the table, overplaying her hand and overplaying the market and not foreseeing the likelihood during this pandemic, particularly with entertainment, entertainment and as well as sports entertainment, took crushing blows during the pandemic. A lot of major networks had to reevaluate how they do business. It was one point that the WWE was, closed down and there was hemorrhaging money, just like a lot of other networks out there in film, television, politics, sports, entertainment, whatever the category. Everyone struggled during the pandemic, okay, as far as making money. So she's going to be going to NBC. I feel like that's a good move for her. Now, NBC Sports, they don't have the basketball package. They do have updates. A lot of NBC Sports content, it goes to the Peacock app. And, if you download the Peacock app, you can watch a lot of their sports shows on the Peacock app, the free one. If you want to pay for it, I'm pretty sure you'll see additional content from NBC Sports. NBC also do football. I feel like out of the three major networks, I feel like the ones that are the biggest networks is, and particularly with 1 and 2, it changes. It fluctuates when you talk about Fox Sports 1 and ESPN. And then after that, if you want to throw in CBS Sports, I feel like CBS Sports is more of a place where people, if they can't get their break at Fox Sports 1 or ESPN, they go to CBS. And then, who cares about 4, 5, or 6? And NBC can fit in either of those categories. It can substance to flip-flop But the biggest networks, a lot of these influencers and sports personalities go to, or commentators or analysts go to, are Fox Sports 1 and ESPN. I consider this move a downgrade. Now, there's no details as far as the value of her contract or what they're negotiating as far as her contract goes over there at NBC Sports. NBC Sports is desperate enough. They'll probably give her, and I'm just speculating this, they'll probably give her $5 million a year because they really don't have any big names over there. Okay, now Michael Smith is over there at NBC Sports. And I forgot the other guy that used to be on Around the Horn. And I think they got a show on NBC Sports, Brothers from Another Mother. I forgot the correct terminology of that show. I really don't watch anything as far as what's going on in NBC Sports because they really don't cover the type of leagues or the topics that I'm interested in. I'm more interested in a lot of things that Fox Sports 1 is doing, what ESPN is doing, CBS Sports, but anything less than that, I'm not even covering it or even talking about it, okay? Now, like I said, I'm speculating this. She's probably getting close to $5 million because NBC Sports is desperate, but reality, she's probably going to get, somewhere in the 3 or the upper 3, close to maybe 3.5. But NBC Sports don't really have the deep pockets like they used to. Now, I believe NBC Sports also signed Drew Brees to cover their football package. Okay, so I don't know how that dynamic is going to work with Maria Taylor and Drew Brees. And if you're not familiar what's going on between Drew Brees and Maria Taylor, you can go Google that stuff. I'm not going to do a whole rundown on this video. You can just Google that for yourself. I don't know how that's going to play out or how that's going to work. But nevertheless, she will be signing over there at NBC Sports. And like I always said in my other videos, and I'm going to do a quick rundown on this, I feel like there are more talented women at ESPN Sports, okay, that can easily replace a Maria Taylor. Now, this is similar to Carrie Champion. You had all these diehard Carrie Champion fans talking about, well, I'm not going to watch ESPN no more because they didn't re-sign or re-up on Carrie Champion. And now she's with Jamel Hill with More Than Sports show that's on Vice. And everyone checked out the first episode, but then the views and the interest just evaporated after the other shows, okay? But everyone was feeling themselves about Carrie Champion. They're never gonna watch ESPN again. You replace Carrie Champion with Maria Taylor, and now you're gonna replace Maria Taylor with a bevy of other talent that ESPN had at their disposal, particularly on the women's side, okay? There are plenty of women there that can easily fill that void of Maria Taylor. And then after a couple of appearances and, when time goes by, people are going to forget Maria Taylor, even existed at ESPN. How many times on social media do you hear the mention of Carrie Champion and ESPN in the same sentence, okay? Or Jamel Hill with ESPN in the same sentence, okay? It's just facts. As fans, we're not really loyal to the people that work at these companies or at these networks. We're more, we're more of the network than the personalities, okay? And that's just the way the story goes. I wish Maria Taylor the best of luck. me personally, I would have accepted the $5 million, but she overplayed her hand. She overplayed herself. She overguessed the market. She felt like, during the pandemic, she's going to be making buku type of money because she's been appearing on so many other platforms over there at ESPN, and they're going to willing to give her more than $5 million. She was demanding $8 million. Okay. Even though Stephen A, there's reports out there that Stephen A makes more than $8 million. He makes $12 million. Okay. You can take that with a grain of salt, however you want to, but she wasn't worth $5 million because you can easily replace a Maria Taylor for whatever, for any female personality at ESPN. I'm not even talking about the male side of things. Once again, people try to make this a gender issue, a race issue. It has nothing to do with that. People say that, oh, it's because of Rachel Nichols. Her and Rachel Nichols are beefing. Had nothing to do with that either, okay? This was going on long before the alleged leaked, discussion that was secretly recorded, which, by the way, if anyone's going to accept this type of behavior where you're at your workplace and someone's secretly recording you without your permission, and you may say something controversial, you may say something that the company perceives as as being negative, whatever the case may be, disruptive. If you're down with this, then what you're saying is it's okay for people to secretly record you without your permission at your workplace. And, you can't have it both ways, folks. You can't say on one side of the fence it's okay for this incident, but on the other side of the fence, you're saying, oh, no, don't do that, okay? Because that's affecting my money. That's affecting my bread, okay? You can't secretly record me, okay? So, but, nevertheless, well, the audio was there. It was very damaging to Rachel Nichols. A lot of you people coin her as Rachel Nichols. I still like that, by the way. And that's fine. Okay, at least you know where she stands, and it goes back to what I always say: these influencers, these personalities, these analysts, sports reporters, wherever they want to put labeled in front of their name. At the end of the day, you really don't know their real intentions. Okay, so I don't really care if you have the same color skin as me. I really don't care about your gender or your position, what you claim your position is about subjects that really affect me. I know at the end of the day, you're living in a gated community. I really don't care what at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter your religion, your race, your gender. You're living in a gated community, and you don't have to deal with a lot of things I have to deal with. So what makes me think that, you're going to be down for anything that affects me at the end of the day, and vice versa. So, yeah, I wish her the best of luck. She's gonna probably do great things over there at NBC. Does this mean NBC is going to win the ratings war with Fox Sports 1, ESPN? I think a lot of you guys need to stop just because they added Maria Taylor, and at the end of the day, people are gonna gravitate to when they first see her on ESPN. I keep saying ESPN, but NBC, probably when they do their primetime football or whatever the case is, they're going to put her on the biggest stage. A lot of people are going to tune in, wish her the best of luck. And then, a couple of weeks go by, people don't care anymore. They simply don't. And most of the people don't even care now. Okay, so that's all I got for today, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.